Hey, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're building a toolkit, but not for fixing a leaky faucet or something like that. No, we're here to fix something way more common, a broken conversation. We're going to give you some simple yet incredibly powerful strategies to make sure you're heard, you're understood, and you're respected pretty much every single time.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever said something you thought was perfectly clear, but the other person just looked at you like you were speaking another language? Or maybe you've walked away from a chat feeling like you were on completely different planets. It's so frustrating, right? And it proves that just talking isn't the same thing as actually communicating.
But what if you had a few reliable go-to tools to fix those crossed wires? Well, that is exactly our goal today. Drawing on some fantastic insights from the UP Skills for Work program, we're going to build your own personal communication toolkit, one that's practical, powerful, and ready for you to use the second this explainer is over.
Okay, first things first. Before we can build a better system, we have to understand why it breaks in the first place. So let's get down to basics. What even is communication, and what are the real stakes when it goes wrong?
So, at its core, communication is really just about transferring ideas and feelings from one person to another. But here's the part we almost always forget. It is not just about the words we say. Think of it more like a full-spectrum broadcast. Your tone of voice, your facial expressions, even the way you're standing, it all sends a really powerful signal.
And that's exactly why this is such a critical skill. Strong communication is basically the engine that drives our lives both at work and at home. It's how we find and share information, it's how we start and build relationships, and, maybe most importantly, it's how we express what we truly need and ultimately get things done.
All right, now that we've set the stage, let's get to the main event. It is time to open up that toolkit and pull out 3 essential skills that, I promise, can totally transform how you interact with literally everyone.
So, tool number 1. This is the bedrock, the foundation of all good communication. And it's something we all think we do, but often we don't. It's called active listening. And it is so much more than just hearing words.
See, active listening means you are 100% focused on the speaker. You're trying to understand their message, absorb the info, and actually remember it. You know, it's like the difference between just having the radio on in the background versus really truly tuning into your favorite song, catching every single word.
And here's where we see the real-world cost of not doing this. So take Connor. He's working in a busy, loud salon, and his manager shouts an instruction. But he's not totally sure. Did she say 30 minutes or 40? Instead of checking, he just guesses. And we can all imagine the potential disaster waiting to happen there, right?
But here's the thing. Connor had the fix right at his fingertips. All he had to do was use one of these simple techniques. Ask a quick question. Hey, just to be sure, was that 30 or 40 minutes? Or just repeat it back. Okay, 30 minutes, got it. Boom, potential crisis completely avoided.
Okay, let's grab our second tool. We've talked about what we hear. Now let's get into what we see. This one is all about reading those nonverbal cues.
This story about Leo is a perfect example. He's giving a presentation, right? He thinks he's just concentrating really hard on his material. But his coworkers, they see something totally different. They see anger. Why? Because his tense shoulders and furrowed brow are telling a story that completely overpowers his words.
So, nonverbal communication. It's everything you share without saying a word. And here is the absolute key insight. If your words say one thing, but your body is screaming another, people will almost always believe your body. A smile, crossed arms, eye contact, that stuff carries a ton of weight.
So the fix for Leo, and for all of us, is all about alignment. The goal is simple. Make sure your words and your body are telling the same story. So before a big meeting or a tough talk, just take a second. How are you standing? What's your face doing? Make sure your body language is on your team, not working against.
And that brings us to our third and final tool. This one is all about how we package our words, especially when things get a little tense. This is the art of respectful framing. Just look at this side by side. When you start a sentence with you, like you sing loudly, it immediately sounds like an attack. It puts the other person on the defensive. But watch what happens when you just flip it to an I statement. I have trouble focusing when you sing. Suddenly, it's not about blame. It's about your experience. And that little switch opens the door for a solution, not a fight.
So there you have it. 3 powerful, super practical tools. But look, knowing about them is one thing. Actually using them is what makes all the difference. So let's talk about putting this new toolkit to work right now.
Okay, let's quickly recap what's in your shiny new toolkit. You've got active listening, which helps you receive information accurately. You've got reading nonverbals, which helps you understand all the stuff that's not being said. And you've got I statements, which let you send your message constructively. See how they work together? It's a whole system for better communication.
So here's my challenge to you. In your very next conversation, maybe later today, which one of these tools will you try first? You don't have to use all 3 at once, just pick one. Because the journey to mastering any conversation doesn't start with some big, grand speech. It starts with a single, intentional choice. Go make a good one.